Okay. Game's on, audio's not here. Guess you guys don't really need the audio. I feel like people don't usually have audio, so I'm just gonna mute it on my end as well. Yeah. Yeah, I know there's no audio. It's not... I muted it on my end as well. Alright, if I full screen that, does that ruin everything? That does, in fact, ruin everything. Alright, we'll keep that like that. Actually, I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick so I can focus. I've had to pee for like the last 2 sets. Be right. Alright, we back. So I play against Axe, you're so sick at this game? I am mediocre at this game most of the time, but thank you, friend. How are you doing tonight, worst player ever? Worst ever player? That's not a true tag. That's not, you are not the worst player ever. With enough practice in three years, you can become the best player ever. Just like Zane. Alright, anyway, I'm back. Alright, so Dodger here is fighting HBox. This was in Mojo Monkey's Mid-Tier Madness, the last one, which was back in April, I think. I don't have as much experience against Doc as some other characters. I've played like 4 pretty good Docs. I've played Palika, who's the best Doc I've personally played. I've played Q, who's a really good Doc in Chicago. And then I've played 2 other good Docs. One of them comes to chat very frequently, and I forget their tag, and I am so sorry I'm forgetting. And I can't remember who the other Doc offhand is. I think it was just like, you know, some insane Doc on Unranked. It'd be like that sometimes. Alright, so anyway, get into the analysis then. Ended up placing higher than HBox because he quit before top 32. Hey, outplacing HBox is no slouch. You literally beat HBox. Well, okay, you did better in a tournament than HBox. Not everybody can say that. Didn't win the battle, win the day. Yeah. Alright, so, like I said, I kind of like, I watched this, but I didn't really analyze this already. This is like only my second time seeing this and my first time actually analyzing it. Alright. So, alright, my mind's like not paying attention right now. Alright, immediately start off with a full hop dare. That's not a great option on most characters. Against Doc, I actually do like it a little bit. Because there's not really much that Doc can hit you with vertical hitboxes, especially at low percent, so that's fine. Kind of preempts the pill. It's like kind of a waiting move to see what Doc's gonna do. Up throw at ledge, that's fine. Wave dash behind Doc. So I think Dodger's trying to like roll and dash chance just out of, it looks like you're trying to space just outside of Doc's F smash range, which is really good. I don't know if that's your intention, but it's what it looks like you're doing, and it's a good thing to be doing, so glad you're doing it so far. Let's see. HBox, of course, being a tap jumper, very much known for his full jumps, full hops. He doesn't really short hop all that much. I did see a couple of short hops from HBox like this game, but like in general, like he's mostly full hopping, and Doc doesn't have the best full hop unless he's like trying to combo with Fair or something. So I think throughout the set, I don't remember how much Dodger capitalizes on those full hops. I'm going to, I guess, like just watch the rest of this and see how it goes. But so far, not a whole lot is happening. They're just kind of feeling each other out. Putting out a few bear walls on HBox's end and pills. I don't really like that HBox is using so many bears. Obviously, he doesn't play Doc that much. Okay, I just want to see what happened there. Okay, so you got a bear. HBox went for a pill right about here. Dare will beat pill in this situation. If HBox was prepared for it, he could have meteor canceled it fairly easily. Dare should generally not work from this height, but you can get a few Docs by surprise. Oh, also, HBox was DIing hard out for that, so that's like, yeah, he was just like dead even. He did meteor cancel it, and I think, unless he meteor canceled instantly, he probably would have died with that kind of DI. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Meditator 15 if people read it wrong. Oh, the worst Steve player. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not paying. It's in dark green text on a dark background to be fair, but yeah, that's yeah, might that's a hard name to read. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. All right. Anyway, so good dare by Dodger here. Early stock on HBox. What you do in neutral between stocks is up to personal preference, so no real comment on that. Okay, I like the idea of the drop through fair here. That's really good for tripping opponents up at higher percents, but at lower percent you can just kind of crouch cancel it, and you can see that Dodger just gets immediately down smashed for the drop through platform fair at low percent. I don't think HBox crouch canceled the first hit. Like, he let him hit with the first one, and then the second one he crouch canceled and went for the immediate down smash. Doc loves to down smash in general, but especially in this matchup. It's like a less threatening version of Fox's crouch cancel up smash against Kirby. Like, Doc can and should be crouch cancel down smashing pretty much all of Kirby's moves until, like, he can't, which I think is around... I feel like it doesn't last that long. I think it breaks at like 30. But yeah, that's a rough one there. He's still going for bear edge guard, so HBox kind of showing a lack of Doc knowledge there. It's not the worst edge guard, but it's also not the best thing that Doc can be doing. Okay, I think that was a tech flub by Dodger. Fine with that. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if it was a flub or not. Dash attack isn't the worst option there, I think. So hang on, when Doc's close forward like this, so let's just see this again. Okay, that I think was a tech flub, and then the roll to safety. F tilt, good pressure at close range. So if you're going to hit Doc with a jab, you kind of just want to do the Doc to Doc. 90%, 5% of my dash attacks are tip flubs. Relatable. Oh, it might have been intentional. Well, it's not the worst option, but again, it can be crouch canceled relatively easily. Anyway, backing up a few frames again, because I keep distracting myself. So that I like. I don't dislike the roll in. I like. Hang on, sorry, you just saw the dash attack. Okay. You got fared a couple times there. That's really hard to avoid. It is technically a mix-up by Doc. Like, you can DI hard behind or hard ahead, and Doc kind of has to read the fair. I think they can just barely react to it at higher percents. But in general, you should be able to survive that 50% of the time. I could be wrong on that. It might just be like all the Docs I play are not fantastic at converting. I do remember I used to get hit by fair a lot until I learned you can DI behind Doc and then make it a mix-up. So, in general, when you're fighting Doc with Kirby, you want to mix up DI down throw behind with down throw ahead. Okay, so stocks are even. Like the jump cancel grab attempts, you should pretty much always be jump cancel grabbing instead of dash attack or dash grabbing in the Doc matchup, especially since he's already so hard to get on. So HBox is kind of walling out with, oh, he is going for occasional nairs, which I think is like one of Doc's better options in neutral that he should be mixing up bench. Now he's just throwing out pills. I don't know what that S smash was. I should probably pay more attention to what Dodger's doing as well. So Dodger is just trying to get in with shuffle fairs. F tilts, this is generally a good game plan. I would like to see a little more wave dashing from Dodger here. I don't think it's necessarily going to get you more openings with better wave dashing, or like more wave dashing in these situations where you're just kind of dashing around, but it will keep you from getting hit as much from like stray aerials, because Kirby needs to kind of abuse his slightly above average ground mobility with his wave dashing. Because you can kind of see like Dodger like I hate how this like rewinds like 10 seconds at a time. Alright, we'll just wait to get to that part again. Yeah, so you're going for a lot of I think you're trying to short hop aerials. If you are going for full hop aerials, I would just recommend not doing that at all. That's useful only in a few matchups, mostly against Puff and Peach, but not so much against most characters, Doc included. Like, full hop is just going to invite you getting hit by a bunch of pills. It's going to invite Doc's Well, actually, Nair isn't so much a threat, but it does make you a little bit more vulnerable to Doc's bear walls, which, you know, Hungrybox has stopped doing for the time being, so it's not as crucial. Okay, crouching under the pills I actually do like. Sharking with up air on platform I like. Can I just rewind like this? Yeah, okay. So I like all of these options by Dodger, like kind of sharking Doc on the platform with up air and bear. Doc does not want to be on platforms against Kirby. If you can get Doc or any of the Mario brothers on platforms, other than Luigi, you have to be careful about Nair. But in general, if the Mario brothers are on a platform, Kirby is happy. You can shield poke with bear, you can shield poke with fair, you can try to shield poke with up air, or you can just call out their shield options altogether and just get clean hits on them. Very strong. That fair was really good spacing by HBox. That's hard to hit with normally on Doc, so very nice. Okay. So we're back to neutral. I like the up tilt there. The bear walls are good. You are full hopping, but Doc's on the top platform, so you kind of have to do it there, so I'm fine with that. Okay, I don't like the F tilt there. I think that you want to be really proactive, edgeguarding all of the Mario brothers. Like, you should be going out there with your back to the stage and trying to intercept pretty much anything that Doc can do. Any of his aerials and his pill can all be intercepted with bear. So, yeah, I would have liked to see Dodger go a lot higher here, trying to bait Doc into recovering low or up being early. It's still not a guaranteed edge guard. Doc is pretty hard to edge guard, all things considered. In fact, both Mario and Dr. Mario are a lot harder to edge guard than I feel like they should be. But you do increase your chances by trying to go high and edge guard with bears. Even if you don't want to commit to going off stage, which at 32% there's literally nothing scary Doc can do to you. But like, even if, say, you were at 100% and the Doc was at 30%, like, you can pretty much get out of the way in time and react to his fairs. That's like really his only threatening option in the air. So there's not really any harm going really high to edgeguard Doc. So that's kind of what I would be doing in this situation. The F tilt isn't inherently a bad idea, but I just think that there are better ideas. F tilt is okay, but you have to be very careful about your spacing, and it doesn't give you as many opportunities to, like, you know, you're not going to be able to cover it if Doc just goes to ledge and up Bs with his insane magnet hands. So a little bit of edge guarding inaccuracy, I would say, but otherwise still playing pretty solid. I feel like that was the weirdest fairy box I've ever seen from Doc, and that shouldn't have hit. Okay, so quick side note about up B. I never use up B to edge guard at ledge like that. I don't know why. It's objectively a good option in a lot of situations. I just don't do it. But I really like that use of up B. It does cut off a lot of Doc's options there. The only thing he really could have done to avoid that, other than jumping over it, which would have left him very vulnerable, is like time to cape to reflect it back, but like he's far enough away where that the projectile would not have even reached Kirby, and it kind of would have just made his recovery a little bit more telegraphed. So basically Doc was screwed there if Dodger played that properly, and he did. He played it, well, Dodger played it as well as he needed to. HBox messed up a little, but like I think Dodger would have probably covered that, so good edge guard altogether. Definitely cleaned that one up. Jab down smash. Okay, Doc really likes the jab down smash. There's not a whole lot you can do about it other than be aware that Doc really wants it. Doc likes crouch cancel down smash, and Doc likes jab down smash on Kirby. He likes those things on most characters, but like particularly for Kirby, jab down smash is a very strong kill confirm when he can't get down throw fair. Doc actually doesn't have a whole lot of good kill confirms on Kirby other than jab down smash and down throw fair. Which the former is pretty easy to, well, I don't want to say it's easy to avoid, but it's avoidable. And down throw fair is a 50-50 at high percent and mid percent. He also has, like, you know, obviously like the raw F smash, but that's generally fairly easy to play around, but, you know, tournament nerves of course get in the way, and it's not always like super easy to play around. Okay, Dodger is recovering well. I wish HBox would have been a little more proactive with the edge guard, but he did get the fair there, that's fine. I'm not gonna, it's just kind of something that you have to be aware of with Doc. It's not always easy to play around it. I like the aerial pressure here. Dodger's mixing up back air with up air and then up tilt and grab. Basically, the more of Kirby's tools that you can be mixing up in neutral at the same time, the better your chances are. So I really like that whole entire sequence. Back up a little bit because I was talking over that. Okay, so Dodger's actually doing a really good job spacing around HBox's onside here. HBox, for on his part, seems to have changed up his strategy a lot. He's not going for nearly as many bears, Not necessarily because they don't working, but I think he noticed that they're not really getting him anything other than like straight neutral wins, and he wants to go for, I think HBox wants to go for different options that get him more juicy kills, but he's still not really seeing success. Dodger, of course, very experienced Kirby player. He knows most of Doc's tricks, I'm sure. So HBox's revised options aren't working so well. HBox is getting some really weird fairs. Like, that's like the second fair I've seen kill that just I feel like shouldn't have even hit, and like it's not even like Dodger did anything wrong, so it's like, how did that hit? So I'm just going to attribute that to HBox being HBox and having a really good understanding of like characters' hitboxes and spacings. But yeah, those so I'm actually gonna replay the whole game without pausing so much after like my initial analysis. I like Dodger's pressure here. I think what was I gonna say? Like Dodger, like in general, every single time that you are throwing out hitboxes, I pretty much agree with all of your decisions. So my main critique, I guess, for you is like the actions that you're doing when you're not actively putting out hitboxes. Like you're taking to the air without, well, actually you're kind of cleaning it up for like these last couple of stocks. That was just kind of HBox overextending. There's no reason that really either player should have died here. But Dodger kind of flubbed a wave dash to ledge, it looks like, and then HBox kind of tried to go too hard on the edge guard. Should live that, yeah. HBox is playing it a little safer, throwing pills. That's pretty much what Doc should be doing when he has no reason to go in, and Doc has absolutely no reason to go in right now. Got a little aggressive, but those down throw fairs have been working a lot. That was also a flub on your part? Yeah, I figured it was. Alright. Alright, so yeah, my criticism from before kind of still stands. I pretty much like all of your options when you're actively throwing out hitboxes. I think you've missed a couple fastfall aerials, which I'm just going to attribute to like technical errors, which is fine. Obviously, you do want to be practicing your tech skill a little bit more, and like, you know, making sure that you're getting those aerials like out frame one whenever possible. Not dropping fast falls or L cancels or auto cancels. But in general, I like your game plan when you're on the offensive. I think your defense is also, for the most part, fine. You're not really mixing up your DI off of Doc's down throw, and you're basically, I think he killed you like 8. He didn't kill you every time, but like he hit you like 7 out of 8 down throw fairs. Which, you know, that should be averaging out to 4 out of 8. So maybe you just got particularly unlucky, that's not out of the question. But you should definitely be mixing up down DI behind for the down throw. Spot dodging a lot after landing aerials, and I think he caught onto that very quickly. HBox is very much a pattern recognition and downloader, so I think he noticed. I am also pretty confident that he noticed that, though I'll be honest, I did not really notice that as I was watching the video. But yeah, so I like your offensive options. Your defensive options are fine, though I would work on the DI and the SDI. My main problem is basically how you're playing and moving neutral. What was I gonna say? Like, I feel like you are not giving Doc enough credit when he's at low percent, and you are not giving Doc enough credit when he is, well, not giving enough credit at low percent, and you are not using wave dash as much as you could be in neutral. Like, you're usually opting to either just straight up dash, hop around a bit, and that's kind of getting you hit a lot more than it needs, so I'm gonna try to watch the video a second time without pausing too much and like try to point out like specific instances. So like, so far this is fine. Like, HBox is still kind of getting used to the matchup. He's not really sure how to handle a Kirby, which is you know par for the course. Lots of rolling back. I would recommend wave dashing back whenever possible instead of rolling back. It's a little more prone to error, obviously, but it's a lot better against pretty much every character. Like, there's very few characters that you want to be rolling back against. Roll in is good a lot of the time, but roll back is not so much, not usually so much effective. Alright, so here, like, you see short hopped air, the fall through fair, not respecting crouch cancel, another full hop bear, no fast fall, full hop fair, no fast fall, we'll call that an inaccuracy. Yeah, like you just got down throw fared twice here. I think you've just DI'd in every time. So that was either DI in or no DI, or like DI. Yeah, that looks like no DI both times actually. So that's like probably like the biggest thing that's getting you killed, but it's not the worst thing in neutral necessarily. Okay, I see. That was like, you know, that's like what I kind of like want to see more of. Like that's a really good up air because like it's really hard for. It's got a lot of shield stun. It's really hard for Doc to poke that or to follow up, especially if you're on his front side. Like you can bear out a shield if you're behind him sometimes, but like from that angle, unless he goes like for like a super hard read F smash and you're drifting in, like he's not going to hit you with anything with that kind of pressure. Yeah, and I don't just like the tilts. Up throw is obviously like throw of choice against Doc for the most part. Though at mid to higher percents, I would be back throwing a little bit more just to get Doc off stage. I think that's really strong. Okay, hang on. I also want to... Yeah, actually, I was going to comment on like, you know, the height that you're doing aerials at, but it's honestly pretty good. Like, yeah, you're doing basically what you should be. Like when Doc's to the top platform, you want to be drifting like just under the platform, which you did like a pretty good job for like all three of your aerials there. I already sent my comments there on the edge guard. See I just want to watch that again because what the heck is that hitbox? Yeah, so like there's still no DI there. You kind of want to be preemptively DIing that move either straight in or straight out. Generally straight in, and then play the straight out mix up as or the straight out DI as a mix up. Look at this hitbox. That's just. That's just unfortunate. Like, I would not have been prepared for that to hit either. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot, like, Doc's D-throw is probably weight dependent, huh? So it probably is a little faster, but that's why I say, like, as soon as you know you're gonna get grabbed, and you can expect to get grabbed by Doc a lot, as soon as you know that you're getting grabbed, you want to be holding hard in or hard out. And again, generally hard in. But yeah, clean up the stock, that's fine. Roll in, don't dislike it. Good recovery for the most part. I don't know what that dare was trying to accomplish. Like, you know, HBox was standing solidly out of range of the ledge. Like, he's just chilling under the platform. And so the dare at the ledge makes not much sense to me. If your opponent's going to give you the ledge for free, I would just take it like 9 times out of 10. Unless you have strong reason to believe that they're baiting you into thinking ledge is free and that they're going to run up and attack you for it. Which isn't very common. I think the characters that are most likely to do that are like, you know, Fox, Falco, Peach in my experience. Sometimes Marth, but like even Marth usually wants to be a tip of range. But yeah, like HBox is just solidly standing very far away from the ledge on the platform, so you really don't want to play with down air too much there. I think the one way you could maybe make it work is like going for like a down air just over stage and then drifting back to edge cancel it. But even that's like probably not as good as just like, you know, throwing out a falling forward air and just immediately grabbing edge or something like that. Yeah, so again, like, this is just a matter of you know, you got hit by 4 out of 4 down throw fairs. Like, I think that was the first. You DI'd that one slightly out, but it definitely wasn't full out. I like that entire sequence of pressure there. The back air into falling back air into auto cancel bear up tilt into, I don't even know what that was, into grab. I'm not sure if I like the side B, but that is definitely a side B that I would do. Still not sure if I'd like it, but I will say I would probably do the same thing. Yeah, so all that is fine. Yeah, see, so you're going for a lot of full hop bears here, which, you know, you're doing full hop. It's not an early bear and it's not a late bear, it's just a mid-late bear. Like, that bear isn't really... So it's not inherently a bad move. Like, you're not super likely to get punished for it, but it doesn't really cover anything other than Doc jumping, and Doc has no reason to jump in that situation. So you pretty much short hop double bear is nice if you don't fast fall it. Full hop double bear can be mixed in with that, but you pretty much always want to do a bear while you're rising, and then a bear when you're falling. Like, you did it at basically, like, you know. And, like, bear's a pretty solid move overall, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but, like, you do it at, like, the absolute worst height, which is, like, at the apex of your jump. Wait, that one's a late bear. I think it was the bear before this, so I'm gonna rewind a bit. Was it this one? Well, I think there's two of them. That one is like, you know, at the apex of your jump, which again doesn't cover anything. And then you did the... No, okay, so that was the good bear. So like the first one wasn't great, the second one was fine. So, okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to pause rewind that much, but it looks like you are playing a game where you're kind of waiting for Doc to come to you, which, you know, HBox is, to your credit, but, like, for the most part, like, Doc doesn't really have to approach. Like that, like, if you give Doc space to, like, kind of move around, it's going to be really hard to ever get it on him. You kind of want to be a little more aggressive. Like, I know, like, not everybody likes playing Kirby super aggressively, but you definitely don't want to be giving Doc space for free to throw pills and, you know, kind of, like, hold center stage. Like, center stage isn't super important against Doc, but you still don't want to be giving him space to, like, you know, move around and wall you out with Bear and Pill. So, you can't really make Doc... And, like, hang on. Was that a... I think that was just a raw fair. Like, I don't think he just down through, though. Like, he just went for a raw fair there. That was a good fair. To HBox's credit, like, I don't think I would have been prepared for that either. And then, yeah. So, the very last log of the match, you started doing a few more short hop aerials, which, you know, as... I don't know if you're noticing, but you're getting a lot more hits in. And, you know, you're kind of taking the same amount of hits mostly, but you're not generally getting hit for your short hop aerials. That's what I was saying before. You're getting hit when you're not putting out hitboxes. Doc is a character that does not have good range. Like, straight up. Other than, like, on F Smash. And that's not generally a move that you want to be worrying about too much. Especially if you are doing safe auto-cancel aerials on shield. So yeah, like, this entire stock, you played pretty well. And I'm not sure if you, like, are, like, aware of, like, why it was going so well. But, like, you're doing a lot of tilts when he's approaching you. And when he's not actively approaching you, or when you're trying to, like, you know, punish him, you're going for a lot of short hop aerials, and all of that is really good, and it's getting you a lot of juicy damage. Again, like, yeah, HBox, you guys both messed up there, but, like, your mess up into his messed up kind of worked out to your favor. And yeah, you just got hit by another raw fair there, so I think HBox realized that, you know, you weren't DIing fair super well, and it was, like, relatively safe based on the way you were playing, because you were hopping a lot into the air when you didn't need to. Like, it was just safe to go for those. And yeah, that wasn't the best DI on the down throw again, but like there's not much that that you can do to live at that point. All right, so I'm going to watch the one thing one more time and see if I have any final comments that I haven't already been through. But I think I pretty much covered everything, and then I'll sum up at the end. Again, I really like that dare, and I feel like that you should have been like more proactively edgeguarding Doc like that, like the entire game, and in general, like in every game. Like, I kind of group characters into 3 tiers. You know, like Kirby excels at edgeguarding, and so my 3 categories of characters, not tiers, but categories, are like characters that you want to be, you know, at least a little conservative when edgeguarding and like not overextend. Characters that you can afford to overextend on, and characters that you can just go all out on edgeguarding. And Doc's solidly in the go all out edgeguarding character tier. Like, Doc does not have a great recovery, and if you're playing your mix-ups properly, you should be getting kills about... Like, against an average Doc, I would say you should be getting kills 50% of the time he's off stage. And against, like, even a strong Doc, you should be getting kills, like, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 times. I did like that dare there as well. Even though yeah, your final cutter was also nice, I did like the idea of that dare, like, as you were coming back. It keeps... It's not necessarily designed to kill Doc, like, you're not really expecting it to hit, though it's great if it does, but it's just more to keep Doc honest than anything else. So I do like putting out dares like that. Again, I still really like that sequence. If you did a little bit of back throw, like every time you back throw, like, and I do this a lot too, like I mess up my back throws all the time, like especially like 10 times during tournament today. But you want to be back throwing almost immediately, every time you take the move. If you're going to go for a back throw, do it like frame 1 as much as you can, and practice like getting that move out frame 1. it gives your opponent the least time to mash, obviously, and it also gives them the least time to react to the DI and hopefully make some kind of technical error. But like even if they mash out, even at like mid%, you usually have enough of frame advantage to like hit them with like an up tilt, a bear, or a regrab anyway. So always want to be back throwing as soon as possible. Yeah, I don't think I have any additional comments. As much as I said that like you want Doc on the platforms, Doc also kind of wants you on the platform, so you kind of want to stay grounded as much as possible. It's not the easiest thing to practice. Like it's really hard to practice in training mode against CPUs and whatnot, but if you can find a way, I would recommend practicing your slide off, because you basically want to be spending as little time as possible on platforms in this matchup. It's not the end of the world like it is on some matchups. Like, it's really annoying getting stuck on platforms against characters like Marth or even Roy, but it's still like not generally to Kirby's benefit. But yeah, that's basically all the comments I had. So in sum, you played the matchup pretty well. You actually played it better, I think, near the end when HBox had figured out what he was doing. It felt like when HBox was like more like trying to feel out the matchup and play around, you were doing worse. So I think you guys were like kind of both learning, and like, my game plan with Kirby is like, can I figure out my opponent before my opponent figures out Kirby? Like, that is, like, my game plan going into everything. And, like, eventually, like, you play enough Kirby, and, like, the opponent can figure out, like, what Kirby can do and can't. But, like, by that time, I've generally figured out my opponent's game plan and can play around that. And I think that's, like, what was happening here. Like, you were figuring out HBox as HBox is figuring out Kirby. And, yeah. So you were both kind of, playing the player, because, like, HBox is definitely a play-the-player kind of person, but HBox is also, like, learning to play the matchup. So, like, in general, punish game is solid. I can't be too critical about that. Doc is really hard to combo. Edge guarding was fine. There are obviously a couple things you could have been doing better, like the number one thing being just, like, edge guarding more aggressively in general. But, like, there was nothing, like, wrong with your edge guard. You cleaned up, like, all three of the edge guards you got were very nice. I like the Dare Gimp was really good, the Final Cutter Gimp was really good, and the Ledge Steal when he overextended was really good. All those edge guards were fantastic. And then, yeah, defense is fine. Again, I would like to see a little bit more wave dashing back rather than rolling back, and I would also recommend that you practice DIing Doc's down throw. And then, like, by far the weakest part of your play here was your neutral. You definitely don't want to be taking to the air too much against Doc when you don't have to, like, unless you're playing it as a mix-up. Like, staying grounded and wave dashing or even rolling should be like your default game plan, and taking to the air should be your mix-up or for getting follow-ups and edge guards. And then you also want to, what was I going to say? Not do, like, don't be doing aerials at the apex of your jumps. You generally want to be doing your aerials at either the first possible frame after you leave the ground, or at the last possible frame to put out a hitbox before you touch the ground. That'll give you the best auto-cancel windows. It'll give you the best and safest pressure. If you want to mix up the timing slightly, like, a few frames after you leave the ground, or a few frames earlier than, like, late as possible, it can be good to do that to mix up shield timings and, like, catch people off guard. But you almost never want to be doing aerials at the apex of Kirby's jumps, unless you have, like, a really concrete reason. Like, unless you can concretely articulate why you're doing those aerials at the peak of your jumps, you shouldn't be doing them. You try to short hop, you wish a lot. Yeah, it's just something that you kind of have to grind out in practice. Like, I'm obviously a little rusty, but, like, even, like, when I'm playing well, like, I miss, like, 1 out of every 5 short hops. Like, Kirby's got a 3-frame jump squat. Nobody really talks about that, but, like, he's got the same jump squat as Fox. Short hopping isn't always the easiest thing with Kirby. Especially if you, like, you don't play the character, like, super technically. Like, if you're just trying to play Kirby with, like, a more moderate, pace, like, that 3-frame jump squat makes it really hard to short hop sometimes. And if your hands aren't, like, super on fire and you're not practicing tech skill all day, like, it can be tricky. But at the same time, like, short hop is a very powerful tool in Kirby's arsenal because he does have, like, a 3-frame jump squat. So you don't, like, if you don't want to, like, grind tech skill every day, like, that's fine. Like, I haven't grinded tech skill in over a month now, and I could still short hop reasonably consistent. It's obviously it's not perfect, but you don't need to put that much time into it. Like, you know, like just like maybe if you have like 15 minutes a day to just practice your short hops. And like, you know, I'll be the first to admit, like, just grinding short hops is incredibly boring. Like, nobody wants to sit down and, you know, grind those. Like, you know, like solo practice in general, like I know a lot of people don't like, but like even like as long as you're doing stuff like that's a little more interactive, like, you know, ledge dashing with Uncle Punch or like exercise or something like that, like that's fine. But like playing short hops, they're boring. But you still got to practice them like a little bit, and you will see a lot more consistency. Like I guarantee you, if you practice like your short hops 15 minutes a day for like 7 days, even if you never practice short hopping again after that week, you're going to miss half as many short hops. Like, I can pretty much guarantee that. Like, a little practice goes a long way. Like, even if you don't want to get to, like, 99.9% consistency with short hops, if you're fine with, like, 90% consistency, like, practice 15 minutes a day for a week and you'll be fine. And yeah, that's basically all I have for you, Dodger. Like, I think you played I think you played HBox pretty well, and I think you played the dog matchup reasonably well besides your defense. Gotta post this? I'm definitely posting the analysis to YouTube. Just for future reference, because I think it's going to be helpful to more people than just Dodger. But hopefully it was helpful to you, Dodger. If you have any like specific questions about, like, you know, fighting HBox in particular or Doc in general, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them.